Hey, how you doing? It's Mike on the south side of Chicago with Chicago Less Lethal. Today's video, we're going to show you some tuning on the hdp50, how to bring you up to 30, 40 joules plus. And without further ado, let's get the video started. Thanks for tuning in today on the south side. Thanks for smashing that subscribe button. And as you see, hands-free, and we are tripoding. Thank you, Mr. Kempner in Canada, Mr. Sean. God bless you, brother, for this beautiful tripod. You are the man. Very humbled and grateful for you, sir. So thank you. So I've been getting asked a little bit here and there on how to pump up these HDPs. How do you get that power? Blah, blah, blah. So we're going to show you. This here is kind of almost the end result, but I'm going to leave off the sniper, marksman, barrel, and shroud and just show you how we get to this point. So we're going to put this over there for now. And let's get started. So I've got a couple of HDPs here, and over there, obviously. So I'm going to take this one first. So I've got all the pins out just speeding up the video, but there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins in there. So you're going to need a punch pin, a punch. You're going to need some pliers. We're going to need some screwdrivers, red Loctite, home defense pin kit, and it does matter between this one and the HDR. This one's bigger. Disc is the same, but pin's different. You'll need some painter's tape, and I'll show you why that in a little bit. Highly recommend the Gregoria detent because the stock detent is The tuning extension from Home Defense 24 HPA adapter if you want to run it off the bottom. If you want to run it off the back, you can get one of these from ZRAM or Home Defense 24. Also, Critical Situations has one, I do believe. Some grease, red Loctite, if I didn't say that already, the Allen wrench that comes with the pin kit, a lighter of some sort or something that produces fire. Please be safe, no matches. The barrel shroud for hdp50, sniper extension, and barrel extension. And that's about all the tools you're going to need. And the kitchen sink as well. The end. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. All right. First things first. Unscrew the your push cap. Get that undone. If there's CO2 in there, take it out. Next, with the punch, you're going to punch out all 5 of these. Now, it does matter which way you go. I don't know if the video or the camera's going to pick it up. You could see that little circle around there. So that's where the knurled end is. So you want to push it from the other side out. So from the left to the right, and then pull all those out. You're going to get your marker. You can just undo this part here, comes off like so. Be careful, there is a spring up here, so that's going to come out like so. I'll put that over there. And then this comes right out. So you pull out the marker like so. And let's see, do I have this one pre-done? Yeah, so there's no screws in here, and as you can see, this is a Gen 2, and I've got plenty of these in stock. If you could find these, this is the one you want, even though that umarex made the triple crimped and Loctited and threaded. This is the old school ones. I've got a bunch of these. So these are the ones that you could want if you could find them. These are the old ones, and these are the best. So once you get it out like this, you're going to take out all these screws, and I'm going to put this marker over here for just a moment. And to speed up the process, I have already done that in this marker. So, oh, also obviously you'll need a Phillips, like a number 1 or 2. You take out all the screws on this piece. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's 7. And then this on the hdp50, this one is the most stickiest valve casing out of all the umarex. So what I do is you get like a thin screwdriver, the thinnest one you can, and just start prying this. And when you pry it up a little bit, you stick a screwdriver in there. Then you pry up another end, and then you stick another screwdriver. And then you pry up the other end, and you keep doing this, and you keep working this very slowly. And when you finally take this apart, you want to take this apart very, very slowly so nothing goes flying on you. Once you get this off, you have your bolt spring, bolt, and then your barrel. You can see the barrel. Obviously, you take this off and get rid of this stuff. This is your stock detent and original barrel. And I'm going to show you guys something. This is a detent that I was using for about a month or so with the heavier balls. Don't do that. Only use 4 gram or 5 gram. Do not use any steel metal 12-7 balls with this original detent. It will go bye-bye. That's why we recommend this detent. Anyways, you're going to be switching everything out to this barrel anyway. So you take this barrel and this detent and you just put it off to the side. Get rid of that. Once you get this out, what I like to do is stick my hand over one end and then just kind of lift up a little bit. I'm going to pry this up with a screwdriver like so. And then boom, it pops out. Okay. And then you take this bolt spring off. Now I've already done the pin kit on this, but I'm going to show you that in a minute. You take this out. And when you take this out with the original pin, what I do is I wrap it in tape, okay, so you don't scratch it. And then you grip it with your pliers. Now, we're going to pretend that there's a pin in there, the stock one. And then you start heating this thing up, like a lot. I usually like to heat this up for at least 2 or 3 minutes. And the way I like to do it is I like to heat all the way around. And then I hold it up like this and heat it with the flame going upward. And you'll see some black smoke coming up. That's the glue from the pin. Do not forget to heat this up. Otherwise, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. Once you heat this up a good amount, you stick your flathead in here and with the pliers, obviously, because this is going to be hot, you unscrew that old junker pin, take it out and discard it. All right? Now for this part, I'm going to get rid of this because we don't need that no more. So you're going to, basically you'll have your bolt like this with no pin in there, okay? Clean everything out of there, all the yuck and the shavings. You can use a pick, you could use some air, you could blast some lube spray in there to clean this thing out real nice. You don't want any gook in there because if anything will shoot into your O-ring, that's no good. So at this time, you'll take your pin kit, get this out, okay, Home Defense 24, get your Allen key that comes with the pin kit, go underneath, thread it up, and what I like to do is I get it almost about halfway, then I'll take some Loctite, shake it up, I put 2 drips in there, 2 good drips. And then what I'll do is I will, whoops, I'll get that in there. There we go. I'll thread it all the way up, and then I go almost all the way back out, and then I let that Loctite drip in all those threads that you didn't get. Go almost all the way to the end, and then go all the way back up until it bottoms out. Don't go too hard. And then let that dry for like a good day. Easily an easy 24 hours. Let that dry. And then if you have a little Loctite up there, just take a little rag or something and dab it off. Let that dry for 24 hours with red. Don't use blue, use red, because once you use red, it'll never come off of there. So let's get rid of that for now. Next, since you have your valve apart, you could take these two screws or get like a crimp pliers or something, and those two holes right there, right here, you get that thing and you unscrew this. And then you could see in there, there's a valve block. So basically, you've seen some of my other videos. Go look at the HDB video. Okay. HDB video. You can basically just take a punch, or I've used mostly an Allen key, and go from this way and just lightly tap, and that thing will pop right out of there. Okay. At this point, if you're running HPA, I would recommend to change the O-ring. I've done this one already. It might be hard to see, but there is a black O-ring right there. There you go. You can see that. Go watch my other video on how to change O-rings. You just pick the old one out. You put the new one in without the brass cap, backwards, with this and a pair of, or not a pair, here it is, actually right here, a plastic pick will work great. So once you get your red pin kit in, it's been a day, you put that back on. Whoops, this is the other one. Let me get the other one. Hold on. Here it is. This one's done. You put this back on. Oh, first, sorry, you grease this with some grease. I'm not going to do it right now because this, for other reasons at the moment, but you just take a little bit of grease. I'll just do a little bit. Grease all this up around here. All right. Put this bolt back on. All right. And then you put your spring on, this front piece on, and then basically this is the trickiest part of the whole install. You just got to squeeze this in and put these two pieces right into those two holes right there. So I'm going to see if we could do this on camera. Let's see here. Push this in. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Just like that. After you do a bazillion of them, it is kind of quite easy. But anyways, you put those two in. You get your new barrel with your detent. It only goes one way. The threaded end goes out that way. Put your new detent in. Put that on. You got the valve block out of there. You got this piece on. You got your power pin kit in. You got your new barrel in. You put the follower thingy back on that that'll push the rounds in. You put this back on and you squeeze tight. It'll make like a little click noise. And I'm not doing that on this because I'm doing some other type of improvements with this. You squeeze all that back together real nice and tight. You put all your screws back in there. And then basically you will drop it back. When it's all put back together, you just drop it back in your marker like this. There's that follower. Make sure that follower's in there. You put your spring in. And then what I do on my HDP50s, as a suggestion from another brother in the community, I always put a little spacer in there so this follower doesn't go all the way up. You just have to manually hold it. And the reason why is when you run the HPA, this thing bounces around a lot, and sometimes I've had it bounce all the way back with the HPA. Since I've put a spacer on all my HDPs, I've never had that problem ever again. So anyways, that's just a suggestion. You could do what you want, but I always put a spacer on there so that this will not lock into there anymore. You just have to manually hold it open, which is not a big deal. You get that all put back together. If you're running HPA, Off the bottom, you could just take this, screw it into there, and then put your on-off ASA and adapter on into this, and then you're done. If you don't do it that way and you run HPA off the backside, these two things right here, you're going to have to grind a little bit with a Dremel tool. And when you're doing that, I highly suggest you stuff the valve with some a wet towel. Just stuff it down in there, 2 pieces. Make sure it's wet, not dripping wet, but moist. Stuff that in there and then start dremeling this stuff, this one and this one, because these from Home Defense and ZRAM, the threads right here aren't as long as a critical situations one, so this part hits. So you grind that part out really good, and then it'll work just fine. It takes about maybe 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes top. You just keep grinding it, and eventually you'll get it to sit correctly. So then you put it all back together. You put all your pins back in, everything. You drill your hole in the back of your case to get your buttstock adapter, and then you're going to get something that looks like this. When you're to this point, now you add your sniper extension. Okay, got your sniper extension. Just screw this on like so. All right. And put your sniper extension on. It's all back together. It's all lubed and greased and beautiful. Then you put your barrel shroud on, Home Defense 24. Got your 2 Allen screws there. I'm hoping Home Defense, Florian, if you're listening, we come up with a larger barrel shroud, which I'm sure you're going to be doing because you sell that larger sniper extension. Now it's like 8 or 10 inches, whatever. I've got those. Those work awesome. Then you could put on your tuning barrel extension, and voila, you now have a excellent Home Defense marker. And believe you me, you've seen videos of this marker in action. You will get easily get 35, 40 joules or more. Let me move this out of the way real quick. Put this here for the finishing of the video. So basically, take your marker, all the pins out, take the plug off, take your marker out, take it out of the housing, take those screws out of the valve case assembly. Be very careful taking the valve out with the bolt and pin. Heat up the bolt, take your old pin out, clean it, put the new bolt in, Loctite it, grease the front, put that back on, put the bolt spring back on, stuff it back in, put all the screws back on, clamp it tight. Make sure you put your new barrel on with the new detent. That's very, very, very important. Don't forget that new detent. Because I know you guys, once you get this like this, you're going to start putting in those 12.7 millimeter. I use 12.6. I found a spot that will give you 12.6. I found those to work very, very good. 8.4 gram, 12.6 millimeter metal round ball. Put all that back together, tighten it all down. If you want to run your HPA off the bottom, great. If you want to run off the back, you got to drill a little hole in the back of this case. Right here, just start with there with a step bit or a reamer bit and just slowly go. You'll be, checking it with this. And towards the end, I like to use a Dremel with a sander just to get it just perfect. Put that on, Dremel those 2 little parts I told you about. Get this piece on, put it all together. There's your on-off ASA with your bottle. You can put a buttstock thingy over the top of this bottle if you want. You can put grips on here, lasers on there, whatever you want. And there you have it. That's how you get your marker, your hdp50 to 35, 40 plus joules. So I hope this video helps somebody, as it once has helped me. There was a gentleman from the other side of the pond who did a video. He's got a more in-depth video of the, where is it? Of this right here. When you take this all apart, he shows you how to take it out step by step by step. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. I'll hook you up with his video. I believe it's MASAKRA. He does step by step on every little thing that comes off of this. It's a great video. I watched it like a bazillion times. But yeah, that's how you get your marker up to those joules with the hdp50. Thanks for tuning in. This video, I know it's a little bit longer video, but everything needed to be explained. So thank you, Sean. Thank you, Greg. And thank you, Florian. And thank you, ZRAM, for all the parts to make this video. And we'll leave you with the Bible verse, Luke 22:36. And he who hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. If you don't want to do it, maybe you can buy one just like this. We'll get you one just like that. So thank you for watching this video. And you made it. We all made it. Thank you. And thank you, Lord, for making us all get through this long video. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Not that. You guys are awesome. We'll see you on the next one. See ya.